Oke, semua bisa dengerin suara aku sama Dundi?
Jelas, Pak, jelas.
Bisa. Oke. Mari kita mulai aja ya media jangketnya. Oke, teman-teman, terima kasih. Saya Titas dari Lovda dan juga ada Dundi di sini juga dari Lovda, dan we have Daya in here. So thank you very much for your time to join our mini media junket with Daya. So in this session, you can ask the thing for to Daya. So you can raise your hand if you want to ask, or Dundi will lead to manage the interview, the question from each of you. But if you want us to asking the question to Daya, please let us know on the chat box. Okay, so enjoy the media junket, and if you have, don't worry, if you have any question, please ask Dundi or ask me on the chat box, or maybe if you have any question for Daya, please silakan ditanya langsung ke Daya. Oke, nanti Dundi akan menjelaskan pertamanya tentang Daya dalam bahasa Indonesia, jadi jangan khawatir. Kalau misalnya mau nanya pakai bahasa Indonesia, nggak apa-apa, nanti akan kita terjemahin. Oke, kakak-kakak? Oke, so let's start the mini media junket, and I hope you enjoy it. Dundi, it's all yours.
Oke, hai teman-teman, terima kasih buat waktunya untuk hari ini di media jangketnya barengan sama Daya. As we know, Daya adalah musisi yang sudah beberapa tahun terakhir berkarir di dunia musik. Walaupun sempat vakum, tapi akhirnya dia kembali tahun 2021 ini dengan beberapa single dan juga EP. Single yang pertama yang dia rilis di tahun ini juga adalah berjudul Bad Girl yang beberapa bulan lalu sempat dirilis. Kemudian ada single kedua yang berjudul Montana. And then hampir bersamaan dengan single kedua Montana, dia juga merilis EP terbarunya yang berjudul The Difference. Sedikit berbeda dengan karya-karya sebelumnya, Daya kali ini memang mengeksplorasi jenis musiknya. Terlihat banget dari single yang pertama yaitu Bad Girl, di mana dia mengeksplorasi tentang seksualitasnya, mengeksplorasi tentang musikalitasnya, dan bagaimana representasi Bad Girl itu sehingga menimbulkan satu image yang baru terhadap Bad Girl. Sementara untuk Montana, dia memang sengaja membuat lebih bernuansa country. Kalau teman-teman dengarkan lagunya memang sedikit akustik, memang itu sengaja dipilih oleh Daya sebagai salah satu single yang diambil dari EP The Difference ini. Memang kurang lebih kalau misalnya kita dengarkan dari 6 lagu yang ada di EP ini, sedikit mempunyai ciri khas yang berbeda-beda dari satu sama lainnya. Oleh karena itu, bisa dibilang EP ini merupakan EP yang different dari Daya. Kurang lebihnya seperti itu teman-teman, jadi nggak perlu lama-lama lagi aku menjelaskan tentang Daya. Let's have a question and answer with Daya herself. She's right here right now, and I want to say hello first for Daya. Hi Daya, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you? Thanks everyone for
good.
Joining.
Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna start the question and answer for our media. So there are 5 media in here right now. There is a Boleh Musik, Sound Corner, Cadas, Rockstar Max, and also Bingkai Karya. The first one, perhaps Yohan from Bingkai Karya. I will ask one by one. So teman-teman boleh mengajukan satu pertanyaan, nanti kemudian yang akan dijawab oleh Daya. Boleh diajukan dalam bahasa Inggris. They can ask in English or in bahasa Indonesia if they're convenient with that. And then kalau misalnya teman-teman mau mengajukan dalam bahasa Indonesia, nanti saya akan mentranslatekan ke dalam bahasa Inggris untuk Daya. Gitu ya. Untuk urutannya, yang pertama kita akan mulai dari Bingkai Karya, kemudian lanjut ke Boleh Musik, Sound Corner, Cadas, kemudian ke Rockstar Magazine. Begitu ya? Oke. The first question, Bingkai Karya, Mbak Yohan akan langsung menanyakan atau bagaimana?
Iya, aku yang langsung nanyain.
Alright, straight to the question then.
Okay. First, hi Daya, I'm Yohan from Bingkai Karya. It's a really great chance to talk and see you today. I hope you're doing well. I also want to congratulate you on your latest EP. All the songs are great and I enjoy listening to all of them. Okay, so the first question is, as a singer or musician, you surely need a lot of inspiration. What is the biggest source of your inspiration, especially for the latest EP?
I think my inspiration comes mainly from my personal experiences and my relationships with my family, my friends, and my love life, and just kind of like navigating the world as like a emerging adult. Um, I also draw a lot of inspiration from like art and films and different albums and stuff like that, because I think that those can be kind of expand your mind in a way that you might not have or like thought to go before, or they can, I guess, just yeah, they can kind of expand the boundaries of what you want to create. And um, yeah, I think that I've been leaning into that a lot during the pandemic, especially.
Okay,
Okay,
great.
that's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mbak Iwan. Oke, kita lanjut ke boleh musik. Next up, we're gonna have boleh musik. Mas Kenny, are you gonna ask
Halo.
the question directly to Daya, or should I have to ask her?
Halo.
Oke, halo Mas Kenny.
Halo.
Ya.
Suaranya?
Yes, ya.
Oke. Langsung aja ya?
Ya. Straight to the
Okay.
question, Mas. Thank you.
Okay, hello Daya. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Hi, I'm Kenny from Boleh Music. My first question is about the song, your new song called Montana. Can you tell me the story behind that song? And the second question is, what do you miss the most?
Halo Mas Kenny. Okay. Okay, let's answer the first question. The
Yeah.
first question is from Mas Kenny is, can you tell us the story behind your song Montana, the second single from the Difference EP?
Yes. Yeah, so Montana for me, that was a song that was written very much in the middle of the pandemic, and I was feeling really trapped in LA. I just in the city in general, and with lockdown and being home, being forced to quarantine at home, not really having daily interactions with a lot of people, and not having a yard, especially. I just felt myself really wanting to connect with nature more and to I just found myself like envisioning this idyllic space. It doesn't have to be Montana, the state, but it was just kind of like a metaphor for the place that you dream of when you um, kind of envision yourself in this like idyllic reality with the person that you love, where you can be basically whoever you want to be, whenever you want to be. And um, yeah, I thought it was, I found it like pretty therapeutic to write that song in the middle of the pandemic, especially. So I'm glad it's connecting the way that it is.
Yeah. So it's kind of like
Okay.
metaphor, right, to the world that you want to believe in with
Yeah.
your couple or something, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Next up,
Yeah.
we have nanti kita setelah selesai satu pertanyaan kita akan round up lagi dari awal, begitu terus ya teman-teman. Jadi nanti mungkin kalau misalnya teman-teman masih ada pertanyaan atau segala macam bisa nanti disampaikan lewat chat box, atau nanti kalau misalnya memang saya yang harus menyampaikan, I will ask her myself. Okay, so the next question came from Sound Corner. Mas Gunawan said to me that I have to ask you this question. During this pandemic for almost 2 years now, Daya, you are still productive and releasing new material in the music industry. Can you tell us about the challenges and also what is your strategy to promote the new releases?
Yeah. I think that there have been many challenges from the pandemic. One being the way that we wrote the songs for the EP specifically. I recorded all of them at home, so it was all pretty much Zoom writing sessions, and often with people I hadn't worked with before, which was really interesting because usually when I'm writing with someone for the first time, it's like we catch up and we get to know each other, and there's kind of this like this conversation going. And I feel like with Zoom, it feels very formal all of a sudden, and that's not usually how my writing experience goes or my writing process goes. So it was a lot to adjust to, and I had to set up my own like home studio, which I'm grateful that I got the chance to do that and that I could record from home. And it kind of forced me to learn how to do all of that, which was interesting. And I think that there were a lot of challenges, but it forced us to be creative in really, really cool ways and kind of think outside the box with a lot of things. So I'm also grateful for it in a way.
Yeah, we need to like make something out of it. Like during this pandemic, we cannot meet each other obviously, but we need to create something out of it, and we have to be settled down on that, right?
Yeah, otherwise I'll go crazy if I don't make something.
Right. Okay. So the next question is from Chadas. And he asks, so the first question from Chadas is, can you tell us more about the making of Montana? What are the challenges that you faced during the writing of the album, the EP, the difference during the pandemic? You already like explained to us about the challenges, but can you tell us more about the making of Montana, Daya?
Yeah, so Montana was a song, like I said, it was born out of like the middle of quarantine. And I had never written with this guy, Nick Long. He's a songwriter, musician, guitarist. I'd never written with him before, but we had this Zoom session scheduled. And right away, right off the bat, we kind of connected on like a good level, and we just really understood each other. And we were both talking about getting a farm, going and buying a ranch somewhere and leaving the city, and we kind of bonded over that. So we decided to write Montana after that, and it was one of the only sessions that I've done without a producer present. So that was really cool because he doesn't produce, but he plays the guitar. So we wrote the entire thing on just the guitar. And then after was when I brought in my friend Andy Seltzer to finish up the production, and he put in the kind of like pads and synths and drums that you hear at the end. But we wanted to keep it very minimal, very stripped down to its organic form, which was from the day that we wrote it, basically. So I think it gives it more of like an intimate feel.
Mhm, mhm. I kind of interest in the process of making this song. Do you create the lyric first, or you just came up with the melody, or how's the process, Daya?
Typically for me, I like to sit with the music for a second, especially if we're writing to chords or track or whatever it is. I like
Right.
to kind of like live in the music world that we're
Yeah.
creating, and find melodies that fit it. And I think I usually start with melodies just because it's like more of a feeling thing, and I feel like when I
Yeah.
find a melody that really works, I know that it works, and it's more of like a kind of like a gut instinct. And then lyrics generally come to me like around the same time. I think like as we're building the song, it's like a concept comes to mind, or a feeling comes to mind, or it reminds me of this time in my life or this situation that happened. And so lyrics come pretty quickly after that. But yeah, I would say melody first most times.
Cool. All right. So move on to the next question from Rockstar Magazine. Hello, Mas Jeko.
Halo,
Take
halo Mas
take
Nindi.
it away, Mas, with the first question.
Oke, saya tanya langsung nggak apa-apa Mas?
Ya, boleh.
Halo, ya siang Mas Duni, Mbak Titas, makasih udah dikasih kesempatan waktunya. Hi Daya, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm Jeko from rockstarmax.com. Congrats for your single Montana, and I like your music video is very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, my question is, there's a long enough time to spend to release your second EP. What's the biggest obstacle in the process of the creativity and material gathering? It took 5 years since your whole album still look pretty in 5 years ago. Yeah. Was there's a feeling of complacency after the Grammy achievement? that an album that shall have been released should not become?
Yeah, I think there are many reasons why I wanted to take a long time, and I think the biggest obstacle ultimately was myself and me overthinking and me trying to perfect every little thing. Because I did experience early success with my first album, and I'm really grateful for that. But I didn't want it to put me in a position where I felt boxed in creatively, and I felt like I had to do exactly what that first album did. So I wanted to spend a lot of time to get to know what I wanted to say as an artist and kind of how to say it and what I wanted to sound like, what I wanted it to look like. And I think that that just takes time, especially since I was so young coming out with my first album. And I had a lot of help from a lot of like industry vets and things, but this was kind of something that I wanted to figure out on my own. And I'm really glad that I've taken this time. And another reason is because I just wanted to like have more experience, live more experiences, and have more experiences to pull from with my writing. And I felt like I hadn't experienced the scope of what I wanted to at 16. So I'm really glad that I just kind of took a step back as a human being and as a person and just like lived life a little bit more. Because it produced, I think, it helps with me as a person mentally, and it also helps like me with my writing. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Daya.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mas Jeko. So we are running out of time, but we probably can make into another round. So this will be the last round. Jadi ini adalah putaran terakhir mungkin teman-teman untuk questions and answer-nya untuk Daya. Karena kita agak sedikit mepet nih waktunya, jadi kita akan mulai lagi di round berikutnya dari Mbak Yohan di Bingkai Karya. So this is gonna be the last round, Daya, for the question and answer. We are running out of time, so we are gonna start with another question from Bingkai Karya. Mbak Yohan, take it away.
Okay, thank you. The second question is, I've been wondering, in your latest EP, The Difference, is there any special message that you want to share in every track, and are they related to each other, the messages? And
Yeah, I think for me, the entire theme of this EP was really about rebirth and my reintroduction to the world as an artist and as a musician, and just kind of allowing yourself to grow and reinvent yourself as a person as you grow older and form new experiences and form new relationships and find more out about yourself. And I feel like with the pandemic especially, I had a lot of time to sit with a lot of things that I was maybe uncomfortable with before and figure out a lot of things about myself that I hadn't fully fleshed out. So I think that it is about just connecting myself on a level with myself on a level that I hadn't, and really just being as honest and truthful with my lyrics as possible, and hoping that that can kind of translate and connect to other people, hopefully, and inspire them to do the same in some way. Yeah.
okay, that's awesome. Thank you, Daya.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mbak Yohan. All right, so the next question come from Sound Corner. Mas Gunawan, let me to ask you about this question. It's kind of unique question, I guess. So, as a soloist, is there any specific microphone that you use to perform live, and why did you choose that microphone, and how those microphone affecting your voice or character that you would like to show to people?
That's interesting. I actually don't have a specific microphone. Normally, it's whatever's available at the show. I do have a very specific like vocal chain, so like what I hear in my ears is very specific, and what you hear in the house is normally specific in terms of like reverb and like vocal effects in my voice. But I actually don't have a a specific mic that I use. But I should. I should probably do that, but I don't have. Yeah.
You should.
I'll do whatever right now. Yeah.
Okay. So you depends on the what is like the selection of the reverb or something, right? Instead of depending on the microphone.
Yeah, that's more important. If we can nail that, that's way more important to me than what brand of microphone it is. Yeah.
Oke. Jadi emang kalau Daya sedikit dijelasin ya Mas Gunawan, kalau Daya nggak ada spesifik mic untuk yang dipakai, tapi dia akan main lebih kayak reverb, bass dan kawan-kawan karena dia pengen ada change sedikit dari suaranya yang bisa nanti didengarkan oleh orang-orang lewat performanya secara live. Kurang lebih seperti itu menjawab pertanyaannya Mas Gunawan. And next up we have Mbak Eni from Cadas. She also let me ask you the question. The question from Chadas, Mbak Eni, is there any gigs or concert, live or virtual, after releasing the EP, The Difference? If yes, what is the concept for the gigs, Daya?
You said, are there any like live performances?
Yes, live performance or virtual
Yeah.
performances, perhaps.
Okay. Yeah, I actually had my first full set live performance this Friday in the United States. I'm going to play this festival in Utah, which is like in the Midwest, in the middle of the country. And it's my first time playing like a full 60-minute set in almost 2 years. So it's pretty crazy to think about, but I'm really grateful that concerts are opening back up. And this EP, especially during rehearsal, was really, really fun to put into the live set. I never really know when I'm writing if it's gonna translate the way that it does when I'm writing it into kind of a live format, but with this EP, The Difference especially is like one of my favorite songs to perform live now, just from rehearsal. I haven't performed it live yet, but we'll see on Friday how it goes. But yeah, I think that this is like these songs are some of my favorites to perform, so I'm really excited. Hopefully, I can
Can't wait for
perform
the
for you
live
guys.
performance.
Yeah.
Yes. I hope that we can like have you in Indonesia in a flash so that we can see your performance and performing your favorite songs in the EP.
Yes, I would love that.
Alright, next up, ini agak skip tadi, maaf Mas Kenny. So Mas Kenny from Boleh Musik can ask the second question.
Okay. Thank you. I just want to ask about what do you miss or what do you want to do after this pandemic is over?
Okay.
What do I miss? I miss shows. I miss playing shows. I miss playing festivals. I miss traveling the world. That was one of my favorite parts of my job, like the fact that I get to experience new cultures, meet new people, and perform for audiences across the globe with different languages and different ways of communicating. It's such a cool thing. It's such a special thing, and I feel like I will never take it for granted again after having the pandemic happen and not being able to do that for 2 years. So hopefully I'll be back touring soon, but that really to me is like my number one. Yes. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But yes. and I'll come to Indonesia too.
Yes, please, for the second time around, right? Okay,
Yes,
thank you Mas Kenny for the question. Terima kasih atas pertanyaannya. So the last question, I'm gonna move back to Rockstar Magazine, Mas Jeko. Halo.
Ya, Mas Doni, aku rasa cukup teman ini aja sih. Hope Daya can visit Jakarta in the future.
Okay.
Itu aja cukup.
Will you visit Indonesia or Jakarta perhaps in near soon?
Ada yang ke konser.
I guess the answer is yes, right? Mm-hmm.
Well, yes. Of course, I'll be there. If you guys want me to be there, I will be there. If people want me to play a show, I'll play a show there. That's done. I love Indonesian crowds. I played We the Fest like 4 years ago, and it was one of my favorite festivals I've ever played. I think the energy is just like unmatchable. So anytime you guys want me back, I'll be back.
So maybe for expanding the question, do you prefer to perform in a festival or you just like love to be in your own concert, Daya?
It's different. It's different for both. I mean, I obviously love my own concert because I love that it's my fans and it's people who genuinely care about me as an artist and my music and connect to it on a different level. But I also really like festivals because I think that it introduces me to a lot of people who wouldn't normally know who I am or know my music. And
Yep.
it's just I'm just like a set that they stumbled upon during the day, and I think that that's a really cool way to make new fans and to introduce more people to my music. So also just like the energy and the whole kind of like aura at festivals. It's so fun, just so many artists. There's so many, like, I love being like a festival goer. Like I love just going into the crowd after I play and watching other artists perform. I think it's super special. So yeah, hard to pick between the two.
Okay,
I love
nice
both.
answer. Thank you so much for the answers, Daya. Thank you so much for your
Thank you
time.
guys so
And
much.
terima kasih teman-teman semua yang sudah menyempatkan untuk datang ke media jangkit barengan sama Daya. For the last part, let's take a picture together. Jadi teman-teman yang masih mematikan video, boleh yuk dinyalain videonya sebentar aja. Kita akan ambil gambar bareng-bareng sama Daya. And then we're gonna wrap up this interview and say goodbye to Daya.